Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. Before we jump in, I want to start with a quick question. How many of you feel like your marketing sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't? Maybe one month the leads are great, the next month things slow down, or maybe you're running ads, but they're not always hitting the right people. We hear this from business owners all the time. And honestly, a lot of it comes down to one big shift in how customers make decisions today. People typically don't just see an ad and immediately buy anymore. They're going to research, compare, watch videos, they read reviews, and sometimes they do all of that for weeks before ever contacting a business. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm Brittney with 10th Degree, and today we are going to walk through how demand generation marketing helps businesses stay visible during that research process. I'm also joined by Wilson Kin today, our advertising expert here at 10th Degree. And one second.
There we go. I'm mute. Thanks, Brittany. I'm excited to talk about this because once businesses understand what demand generation is and how it works, marketing starts to make a lot more sense.
So let's start with something we see all the time. A lot of people think marketing equals leads. Fill out this form, call now, book an appointment. And those things absolutely matter, but that's not really how customers always behave anymore.
Right. People rarely see an ad and immediately make a decision. Instead, they start researching, making use of all the easy access tools available at their fingertips nowadays. They'll read reviews, they'll compare options, they visit websites more than once. They might watch a few videos to understand their options. And sometimes that process can take weeks, sometimes even months.
And here's the part that businesses might not even realize. A lot of that activity happens before the customer ever contacts you.
Exactly. Most shopping activity is done anonymously without ever interacting with companies. Customers are gathering information long before they fill out a form or make a phone call. But during that time, they've already started to see business names and forming opinions about which businesses they might trust.
So if your marketing only focuses on people who are ready to buy right now,
You're missing out on a group of people who could be ready to buy soon. And that's where demand generation comes in.
okay, so let's zoom out for a second and talk about how buying journeys have changed. So, not that long ago, the process was much simpler. Someone needed something, they searched for it, they called or visited a business, and they made a decision pretty quickly.
Today, it's pretty different. Customers are so connected to the internet through their phones, computers, and even TVs that they have access to a huge amount of information before they need or even want to talk to a business. They can watch professional product reviews, read dozens or even hundreds of customer reviews, and see how other people are using a product or service.
And because that information is so easy to find, people naturally take more time to make decisions.
That's right. Instead of one or two interactions, customers might actually encounter a business several times before ever reaching out. They might see a video, then read an article, and they'll visit the business's website and then come back a few days later. By the time they finally contact a business, they've already done a lot of research, probably.
And all of that's why showing up earlier in that process has become an important step. Okay, so Wilson, let's break this down. What exactly is demand generation?
Great question, Britt. So, demand generation is a marketing strategy geared towards that upper middle funnel, building brand visibility, trust, and interest before someone is ready to buy. Instead of focusing only on capturing leads, you focus on helping people learn about your business earlier in their research process. You answer questions, you provide helpful information, you show up while they're exploring their options.
So instead of saying, give us your contact information right now, we're helping customers get comfortable with our business first.
Absolutely. Think about someone shopping for a vehicle, for example. They might start by researching what brands or models could fit their needs, then watch and read some expert reviews about their options. Then they can move on to compare features and safety ratings between those different models. Later down the line, they'll look for other customer reviews on the models they're actually interested in. Eventually, they'll search for a dealership's name once they're ready to actually buy. So demand generation influences those early research moments with awareness and consideration. Lead generation captures the final conversion step.
Okay, so one builds interest and the other captures it.
That's right.
So before we go further, there's something important to clarify, I think. We've been talking about demand generation as a marketing strategy, but Google also has something, as you're aware, called demand gen campaigns inside of Google Ads. And those sound almost identical, so that can be kind of confusing. Can you explain the difference for us, Wilson?
Absolutely. So demand generation as a strategy, it's the big picture. It's the overall approach to the marketing strategy, which includes things like SEO content, educational videos, retargeting ads, email follow-up, and helpful website content. All of those things work together to influence customers and develop awareness earlier in the buying journey.
So it's really the philosophy behind how you market.
That's right. Now, Google Demand Gen is a specific campaign type inside of Google Ads. It's a tool businesses can use to show more visual ads to people while they're browsing content online. Instead of waiting for someone to search for your business, these ads can typically appear earlier while people are exploring topics that interest them, so for relevancy.
So you're building awareness before someone might actively search.
Exactly. Here's a simple way to think about it. Search ads help to capture demand. Demand gen helps create it.
That's a great way to explain it.
And the two work best together. Traditional search reaches the people who are ready now, and demand gen reaches people earlier while they're learning and researching.
All right. So, talking about the demand gen campaigns inside of Google, how do they actually work and where do people see the ads?
Yeah, demand gen campaigns can show up across several Google platforms. One of the biggest is YouTube. Ads can appear while people are browsing the feed or watching videos and shorts. Another is Google Discover. That's the personalized content feed many people see on their mobile devices. And third is Gmail. That's where native looking ads can appear in the social and promotions tab alongside people's emails.
Okay, so instead of a traditional search-based ad, text ad, I should say, these are much more visual.
That's right. Typically, they'll include images or short videos, and that makes them much more engaging when people are in just that discovery mode. Think about how people use YouTube, for example. They're often watching video reviews, tutorials, or comparisons. So when a relevant ad appears there, it fits naturally into the research process.
So instead of interrupting someone, the ad becomes a part of their experience.
Indeed. That same thing happens with Google Discover. The feed shows articles and content based on someone's interests. So when your business appears there, it's showing up inside a personal stream of information the user already cares about.
Okay, so let's talk about what makes these campaigns successful. If a business launches a demand gen campaign, what matters most?
So there are three big factors. The first is creative. Because these ads appear in visual environments, the images and videos need to capture attention quickly. For example, a dealership might show a short video explaining things like driver assistance features that makes driving easier, or show the difference between available trims on a vehicle model. The goal isn't just to advertise to people, it's to help them learn something useful.
So the ad feels more like helpful content than a traditional commercial.
Precisely. Another factor is audience targeting. Google's systems use signals like search behavior and browsing patterns to identify people who may be interested in what you offer. You can also show ads to people who have already visited your website with retargeting. That helps keep your business visible and top of mind while they continue researching.
And what's the third factor?
The landing experience. If someone clicks your ad and your lands on a confusing, slow, or even irrelevant page, the opportunity can disappear. The website needs to answer their questions quickly and make the next steps simple.
All right. So, what are some common mistakes that businesses make with demand gen campaigns?
One of the biggest mistakes is expecting immediate leads. Demand gen works earlier in the shopping process. So the first results you may see are things like higher engagement, more returning visitors, and stronger brand recognition. Leads follow later down the customer funnel.
So, businesses should look beyond just those form submissions.
Exactly. Another mistake is using weak creative. Like we said, these platforms are visual and strong images and video matter a lot. The third mistake is running demand gen campaigns without search campaigns. Remember, search captures the people ready to buy, while demand gen reaches people earlier. When these two strategies work together, the results are much stronger.
Okay, so let's take a look at a real example of what this can look like in practice. I know that we launched a Google demand gen campaign and reviewed the performance over a 45-day period for this case study here. And even within that short time frame, the campaign generated strong visibility and engagement across Google's platforms. Wilson, can you walk us through some of the highlights?
Sure thing. One of the first things we're looking at with demand gen campaign is reach. During the campaign, the ads generated more than 217,000 impressions, meaning the ads appeared over 200,000 times across placements like YouTube, Discover, and Gmail. That kind of visibility helps introduce a brand to potential customers while they're researching and exploring their options.
So the campaign was able to get the brand in front of a large audience fairly quickly.
That's right. The campaign also generated over 5,200 clicks with a strong average click through rate of about 2.4%. For a demand gen campaign, that level of engagement shows that the ads were relevant and capturing attention. Beyond clicks, the campaign generated more than 74,000 interactions across the ads with an interaction rate of about 34%. That tells us users weren't just being shown ads, they were actively engaging with them.
And once people clicked through from those ads to the website, they were actually taking action.
Exactly. During the campaign, the ads generated over 1,200 tracked KPI interactions on the website after users clicked through. That tells us the campaign wasn't just generating traffic, it was bringing in visitors who were actually interested enough to engage further.
And what about cost efficiency?
So the campaign delivered this traffic at a low average cost of about 41 cents per click, which allowed the campaign to generate strong visibility and engagement while keeping costs efficient. Video placement also performed well. The campaign generated more than 69,000 true views with a true view rate of about 32%, which is a strong signal that viewers were interested in the video content.
And that's really the key takeaway. Demand gen campaigns with strong content can help businesses reach customers while they're researching and exploring their options.
Precisely. By the time someone eventually searches the business or returns to the website, they could have already seen the brand multiple times. That familiarity can help make a big difference when someone is deciding who to trust.
Okay, so demand generation marketing strategies are important for businesses looking for more visibility and scaling beyond those traditional search ads. Let's go back to auto dealerships as an example. Buying a vehicle is not usually a quick decision for a shopper.
Not at all. Most buyers are spending time researching before they ever visit a dealership. So they'll watch video reviews, they'll, excuse me, compare models, look at driving and safety features, check incentives and financing options. By the time they contact a dealership, they've often already formed strong opinions and might even be more informed than the salesperson.
Right. So if the car dealership only appears when someone searches for something like dealership near me, they're already late in that process. And basically, because of that, a demand generation strategy is going to help the dealership show up earlier while buyers are still exploring their options. And that early visibility can help influence where they will eventually purchase. All right. So, the big takeaway, the businesses that are going to succeed today aren't just competing for that final click, they're influencing customers throughout the entire decision journey. Demand generation helps build awareness and trust before someone reaches out. And at 10th degree, we help businesses bring these pieces together: digital advertising, SEO, website optimization, and of course, demand generation strategy. So if your marketing feels inconsistent or disconnected, it might be time to rethink that approach. So thank you to everyone who joined us today. And if you're interested in building a marketing system that creates real demand, we'd love to talk.